photography session. Now some of you might have arrived via airplane to the Singapore Changi Airport, and the first thing that you would have realized when you leave the complex is that Singapore is covered in greenery. Singapore is also known as a clean and green city or a garden in a city. Now for a small city-state of approximately 716 square kilometers, you might be surprised to find out that if you were to take a look at a satellite image of Singapore, about 50% of Singapore is covered in greenery. For a small population size of approximately 5.4 billion, there are approximately 1.4 million trees in Singapore. Now if you think about it, for every 5 persons, there is 1 tree. Apart from its sustainability features such as reducing the carbon footprint of the earth, Singapore is also focused on adding color and life to its streets, so that it will not look like a concrete jungle. One of my favorite plants is located at the Gardens by the Bay East over here. If you take a look at that pink color plant over there, that is actually known as the bougainvillea plant. One interesting fact about this bougainvillea plant is that it is actually native to South America. So countries such as Peru, Argentina, as well as Brazil is where it originated from. It is now planted all over the world because of its resilience to harsh weather conditions. Now I mentioned that Singapore is a clean and green city or a garden in a city. Singapore is also focused on adding greenery to places which are deemed unusable. Now what am I talking about? If you were to take a look at the mix of the bridges on each end, okay, greenery is deliberately added onto the mix of the bridge to increase the green count in Singapore. Now plant species such as epiphytes, creepers, sometimes even orchids and ferns are added onto the mix of the bridge to increase the green count in Singapore. Now this is one of the ways we achieve the approximate 50% of greenery in our country. On your right over here, these are known as private estates or private condominiums, and about 20% of our local population lives in private estates. Now due to land scarcity, real estate prices in Singapore are amongst the highest in the world. Now for a 3-bedroom private condominium, it could probably cost you anywhere from 1.5 million Singapore dollars onwards. However, for this location over here, it is considered very exclusive because of its close proximity to the city. My friend who actually does real estate told me that a 3-bedroom apartment over here would sell anywhere up to 3 million Singapore dollars. So I can only dream of living here. However, about 80% of our local population, just like myself, we live in government subsidized housing known as HDB, Housing Development Board flat. Now, I personally live in a 4-room HDB flat with my family, which consists of 3 bedrooms, 2 toilets, dining area and kitchen. My dad paid about $480,000 for a 4-room HDB flat. For some of you back home, a 4-room apartment might be quite a large living space, but I live in a living space equivalent to 90 square meters only for a family of 8. Big family, huh? Now to give you a little idea, the size of my bedroom is approximately from the first row to third row over here. And I share this living area with my elder brother and younger sister. So you can imagine the rest of the house. But of course, us local Singaporeans, we are definitely used to this kind of lifestyle. Our homes are warm and cozy. Alright guys, we are returning back to land shortly, so just another gentle reminder, please be seated while the clock is going back up. Thank you. Back on land, shall we give our captain a big round of applause? Thank you, Captain, for bringing us safely back on land. Now let me share with you 2 of our Singaporean favorite pastimes and hobbies. while we are not at work, or rather my favorite pastimes and hobbies. The first thing is shopping. I'm sure some of the ladies love shopping and the kids love shopping for toys or even books. As a guy, I must admit I love shopping too. So let me share with you some general information about shopping in Singapore. Shopping centres in Singapore generally open from about 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. 7 days a week. For those of you who are interested in high street fashion, what does high street fashion mean? It means the most trendiest clothing at the most affordable prices. Now, I am not talking about luxury goods here. I'm talking about stylish clothing at affordable prices for children as well as adults. A place where you can actually go to is a place known as Bugis Street or Bugis Village. Now, that is shopping paradise in my opinion. Second place is the only 24-hour shopping center in Singapore, and this place is known as Mustafa Center. Mustafa Center is located at the Little India portion of Singapore, and that is the place where you can literally get anything from cosmetics to groceries and even jewelry for those of you who are interested. Second hobby, very close to my heart, as a local-born Singaporean of 25 years. I must admit that I love my food. Singapore is a cultural melting pot of different races, different cultures, so of course, many different types of food. Some of the more popular dishes, I'm sure some of you might have already tried out, such as the chicken rice, roti prata, satay, which is your barbecued skewered meat dipped inside a rich peanut sauce, or the more popular one, the Singapore chili crab, which is a Sri Lankan mud crab cooked inside the tomato and chili broth, thickened up with it to give it a more fluffy texture. But how does this sound? Authentic local Singaporean food without breaking a budget. Cheap and nice. Good, right? Yes, I am all about affordability. Now, a place we can get affordable Singaporean food is over here at the Singapore Flyer. This place is known as the Singapore Food Trail, and this is modeled after the 1960s street hawker style. Now, for those of you who are interested in a more rustic or olden feel to Singapore, be sure to head over here. Now, just a couple of days ago, I was actually stationed at the Singapore Flyer, so I specifically had my breakfast and lunch over there. Now, I paid about $6 for my meal, so not too expensive considering the location. Now, my personal recommendation over there is actually their seafood fried rice. Wow, it's quite delicious. Now, I was talking about the Gardens by the Bay, the Garden Rhapsody, the show 7:45, 8:45 p.m. daily. Now, for that show, there is actually two options. If you're catching the show from the ground, it would be free of charge. But if once you go further in front, you can see the Sky Bridge. If you're catching the show from the Sky Bridge, that would be $5 per person. Okay, so this show, two options. If you're catching it from the ground, free of charge. But if you're getting up to the Sky Bridge, it will be $5 per person. Yeah. Now, before I almost forget, Marina Bay Sands, there is another lights and sound show known as the wonderful Laser Light Show. Okay, show timings are at 8 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. daily. Except for Friday and Saturday, there is an additional time slot at 11 p.m. Okay, so Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m., 9:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. But from Sunday to Thursday, it will be 8 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Now today is just 8 and 9:30. Now this show would last approximately 15 minutes as well, and it is also free of charge. Yeah. Now guys, just a little word of advice. If you're planning to catch either one of the shows, try to be there slightly earlier or at least on time, because from personal experience, I wanted to catch the wonderful Laser Light Show. I was late and I had to wait 1.5 hours for the next show. You do not want to do that, yeah? So try to be there slightly earlier or at least on time. Now I'll be showing you exactly where you can actually sit down. We saw the LV Boutique, right? Next to it there is actually a promenade where you can sit down to catch the show. Okay, so you see LV Boutique over there. You see the center? That is the seating area for the wonderful Laser Light Show daily. 8 p.m., 9:30 p.m. over there. Now another place we can get authentic authentic local Singaporean food just peeking through over there. That is actually the Makam Sutra Gluttons Bay. Now this is one of the few open air hawker centers which are located in the city. Best time to head over there is around 6 or 7 p.m. for dinner, but do take note there is no air conditioning, so you might have to stand by your own portable fan. Now what is the Makan Sutra Gluttons Bay most famous for? They are definitely famous for their barbecue food. Now I'm a guy who actually can't cook, which means I have to eat out every night. Okay, I was there about 3 or 4 days ago. I had the seafood fried rice once again, the satay, as well as their barbecue chicken wings. Wow, the barbecue chicken wings was the best, yeah? Very delicious. If you like barbecue food and a seafood, be sure to head over to the Makan Sutra Gluttons Bay, yeah? Into the scenic district of Singapore, and this road over here is known as Cornet Drive. The field that you see over here on your right is known as the Padang, which literally translates to field in Malay. What you expect to see over here in the 1800s includes Europeans on horse-drawn carriages, as well as locals going about their communal activities. Now this was the place where both the rich and poor both gathered. Now one interesting fact about the Padang is that it has remained at its natural state like this for more than 190 years. Now guys, you might be wondering what is all this commotion going on over here. It seems like they are setting up a stage as well as the sitting area over here. So basically Singapore would be celebrating a 50th birthday. Yeah? So we call this the SG50. So this means a lot to local Singaporeans, especially the pioneer generation. Yeah. So this event, as we can see, we are only in the month of May. This is actually setting up for August. Yeah. So it's gonna be a very big event over here. The building that looks like a UFO, no, it does not fly away and it does not evolve. That is known as the new Supreme Court building, the one with its green color dome, old Supreme Court. Next to it, City Hall building. Now that City Hall building over there has a lot of historical significance, especially to local Singaporeans just like myself, because that was the place where Singapore was granted independence on 9th of August 1965 after separating from neighboring Malaysia. Up on the left over here, the Arts House at the Old Parliament. Just for your information, this is one of the oldest buildings in Singapore. It was built in the 1820s during the colonial period. I understand that this whole area over here is currently under renovation. However, come October 2015, this will be opened as one of the world's largest contemporary visual arts museum, mainly focusing on Singaporean arts and Southeast Asian arts, dating back to the 19th century to present day. So this will be known as the National Gallery of Singapore once it opens in October 2015. Now guys, we can see that we made a loop around the water segment of our tour back onto land. So earlier on, we saw the Marina Bay Sands up close and personal. The Singapore Flyer over there, as well as the Esplanade, yeah? Sunset City is just right in front. over here, this is known as the St. Andrew's Cathedral. Now, this is one of the oldest and largest Anglican church found in Singapore. One interesting fact about this St. Andrew's Cathedral is that it is actually named after the patron saint of Scotland. Now, if you're able to take a look at a top view of its main building, you might be surprised to find out that it is actually designed in a cross shape to model after the St. Andrew's Cross. The St. Andrew's Cathedral is also one of the tallest cathedrals found outside of Europe and America, with its north steeple or north tower standing at a height of approximately 69 meters tall. Now, for those of you visiting Singapore for the first time, just a little word of advice: please drink up a lot of water. Now, Singapore has this tropical rainforest climate, which means we are sunny all year round. I call this the eternal summer. Whew. So apart from our high heat, we also have high humidity, 90% at any given time. So that is why you realize you are sweating a lot, more than usual, yeah? So please drink up a lot of water, especially the little ones, because for those of you visiting Singapore, the last thing I want is for any of you to fall ill during your stay in Singapore, yeah? So please drink up a lot of water when you are in Singapore, yeah? This is known as the Civilian War Memorial. Now, this was built to commemorate the civilians who lost their lives from World War II from 1942 to 1945. Now, a memorial service is held here every year on the 15th of February to mark the date the British Allied forces fell into the hands of the Imperial Japanese Army. Now, that monument over there is also nicknamed the Four Giant Chopsticks because it symbolizes the four major ethnic groups in Singapore: the Chinese at 75%, Malays at 13%, Indians at 9%, and 3% of the minority descendants, which includes the Eurasians. So Eurasians mixed heritage of European and Asian descent. Peeking through your left over on that side, that is known as the Raffles Hotel. The Raffles Hotel was built in 1887 and owned by four Armenian brothers by the name of the Sarkis brothers. Apart from its stunning colonial architecture and world-class service, the Raffles Hotel is most famous for one thing, located at the Long Bar. And it is none other than the iconic Singapore Sling. This Singapore Sling is a tropical drink which was concocted by a Singaporean bartender by the name of Mr. Leon Tong Un in 1915. This tropical drink was inspired by the plantations of 19th and early 20th century Singapore. Just for your information, the Singapore Sling contains Benedictine, gin, sherry liqueur, grenadine, pineapple juice, and lime juice. Now, for those of you who do not consume alcohol, just like myself, there is a non-alcoholic version of this drink known as the Virgin Sling, which is suitable for young children as well. So for those of you who are interested in trying the original Singapore Sling, be sure to head over to the Long Bar of the Raffles Hotel. Alright guys, so this area over here known as the Central Business District of Singapore. Now these are where all the tall office buildings and skyscrapers are located at. Now I personally call this area the Wall Street of Singapore because of its tall office buildings and skyscrapers. Not surprisingly, the tallest building in Singapore at the moment is located at the heart of the central business district. I understand that some of you are being blocked by the trees at the moment, but once our craft moves further in front, we will be able to catch a glimpse. Just for your information, it is known as the One Raffles Place building. It stands at a height of 282 meters tall, according to civil aviation safety requirements. Alright, so tallest building in Singapore at the moment, One Raffles Place, 282